I have done quite a few things in between episodes, one of which was, of course, making this blaze farm. Because I explored the nether and I found this nether fortress, which I promptly lit up with torches and explored. But apparently, you need a light level of 12 on each block to prevent like spawning or spawning of blazes and other stuff. So apparently this isn't spawn proof. But it's safe enough for me. And if you see these signs, they're here to help me navigate the Nether Fortress because I'm really bad with directions. And yeah, so I won't get lost going to my blaze spawner and back to my lighthouse. Speaking of which, this corridor right here is protection from ghasts. I'm really scared of ghasts. So I made these tight corridors that lead to the Nether Fortress, as well as my safe house, which is built around my portal to the what's that called? The lighthouse. And I also made this staircase. Now, why did I make this staircase? Okay, that's a ghast. I don't know where the ghast is, but I made this staircase because I already have a different nether portal, and that nether portal is to my cherry camp, which is actually supposed to be my starter base, but okay, I don't even go there anymore. I also made that bridge right there. Since I was looking for soul sand, that bridge came in handy. And here is my portal to the cherry camp. I'm actually gonna label it. I already know what portal this is, but just for fun, I like labeling things. But today, that isn't really what I want to discuss. I'm counting blocks here, don't mind me, but I'm going to make a lot of farms today. And for this area, I'm thinking of making a bamboo farm. Because bamboos are really useful now, because you can use it as wood. And so I'm going to make, first of all, the minecart hopper minecart collection system rather. And of course, this needs a lot of rails and a lot of power rails. Thankfully, I have the resources. Of course, there's also the platform where the bamboo will actually grow, so we'll need a bit of dirt. Thankfully, dirt is like dirt. It's cheap, it's easy to get. But what's not cheap are these hopper minecarts, which require a lot of iron, which thankfully I have. And of course, we'll also need a bit of slime, because this farm will use a flying machine, which will be my first time making a flying machine, so I'm really excited. This was also my first time using the oozing potion, which was really fun. I want to work more with these. And we produced quite a bit of slimes. So here, we're making our first ever flying machine. And I remember playing Minecraft while these were like new, and wow, they looked so fun. So I wanted to try them out, but at that time I didn't really have the patience to play around with these. So I'm only gonna do it now, and I hope it works because I know these can be finicky, but And this is the finished farm, which looks great. But let me tell you, this took quite a while to make. But thankfully, it works perfectly. And it looks good, it looks great. I like it. I'm so proud of myself for making this because, wow, I even added an auto crafting system to make planks down below. And trust me when I say that that was a feat because, wow, I was working with limited space. And you can see my crafting system down here. It's quite messy with a lot of hoppers everywhere, but it works. For our next farm, it's going to involve the nether. And you might see this is a brand new portal that I made because we're going to the nether roof. Yes, we are at the nether roof, and we're going to make a farm here, which will be quite big and quite a massive undertaking for me. But I'm really excited. I want this farm to last until the end. And okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I wasn't supposed to spawn here. I don't know if I broke the portals. That was a bug, not a feature. Okay, it seems like things are okay, but That's weird. To make this farm, I'm going to need quite a bit of turtle eggs. So guess what we're gonna do? We're going to hatch some eggs, breed them up, and get even more eggs. I'm not sure what they look like when they're babies. So, wow. Okay. One of them has already hatched off camera, and I even gave them a name. It's Sir Turtle number 1, and he is so tiny. And thankfully I managed to catch one of them hatching. This took quite a long time. I recorded for a while, and thankfully it happened while I was paying attention to Minecraft. Because look at them. And I also made a bee farm. Yeah, I needed some honey, so I'm getting honeycomb and honey bottles. And they're dancing around. I don't know. But this right here is the farm that we built. So, yes, as you can guess, this is a gold farm. That's why I needed the honey and all of the turtle eggs. The honey is for the item sorter. But yeah, I did not record myself building this because it took quite a while. And I think I even made this wrong because this turtle egg is supposed to be one layer lower, but I'm pretty sure it will work. Anyway, let me give you a tour of this farm. By the way, to build this farm, I followed Nembon's gold farm design. And I think I can already see some zombified piglins falling to their deaths. So yeah, it works. Even though I'm pretty sure this will be suboptimal. Okay, I forgot to remove the spawn proofing there. But the nether underneath needs to be spawn proofed actually for our farm to be as efficient as possible. And when I say as efficient as possible, it's actually kind of necessary for the system to work all together because of the way that the item sorter works. So yeah, our system right now, our farm is suboptimal and actually kind of non-functional. So I will need to do even more spawn proofing off camera again because this takes such a long time and so many resources. And in case you were curious, this is what our gold farm looks like from below. I think it looks good. It looks majestic the way that redstone contraptions do. But yeah, I don't really understand half of the redstone here. And here at our AFK platform, which I mistakenly thought was at Y level 190, it's actually at Y level 175, we can kill the piglins. So using a looting 3 sword, we can get a lot of ingots this way and a lot of nuggets, which are two of the only things actually that we want from here. But, you know, since our farm is suboptimal, the rates are definitely lower. In fact, I think this might actually be better as an AFK farm with me up at the height limit or the build limit, which was exactly what I did here. I made an AFK platform right up here, and as you can see, the spawn rates are crazy. And as we go down here, we can actually see the piglins are spawning everywhere, the zombie piglins. And wow, this is actually what the farm is supposed to look like. Except it's not like that in practice because, you know, we haven't spawn proofed the nether. And I even added actually a bartering system down below. So I have some piglins, I think there are 4 of them, and then some crafters up above to make some iron ingots. Oh no, gold ingots rather. And then they give us their trades, which involve a lot of junk, but also a lot of useful stuff. And I also decided to reroute some of the crafters so that we can still get golden ingots. And this is what our crafting system looks like from behind. We take in gold nuggets and produce gold ingots. And here are the piglins for our bartering farm. Make sure none of them have the spear. Those guys can kill each other. And here is our crafting system. There are only 3 there. This last one doesn't work because it doesn't receive items. And of course, to make this an AFK farm, I just had to remove the honey blocks. But that's enough about our gold farm. Our next farm is a moss farm or a bone meal farm, whichever setting I want it at. And yeah, I built it near our tree farm since this tree farm needs a lot of bone meal. And this is kind of unnecessary. I can just use hoppers and water, but I made a hopper minecart collection system once again. And here it is, all powered up and also all working. I also built the farm around it, obviously. And since I messed up multiple times earlier, I made this system to enter a hopper minecart easily. And yeah, it's been working. This is the clock that powers our farm, and this is what our farm looks like. It's something that I cooked up in my creative world, and yeah, it's not really that efficient. I could have made this larger, but you know, I didn't. But it produces enough to sustain itself, and it also produces enough without sustaining itself to make us a lot of moss. In fact, it produces enough to overwhelm the hoppers that I had to do this. And this is my living area near my moss farm. This is where I'll spend most of my time. And of course, here is where I will access my chests, so I can choose between moss mode, bone meal mode, or restock mode through these levers, which I quite like. And that's it for our moss farm. Here I even made a wool farm with 1 sheep. He's not a prisoner, don't worry. He is our benefactor. His name is Mr. Sheep number 1, and he is kind enough to give us his wool. So yeah, thanks. For now, I actually want to just relax and talk while the farms that I made are here in the background. This episode is much shorter than my previous ones, my usual ones. I usually aim for 20 minutes, if not 25 minutes, but these were especially short because I didn't really show the process of me building these farms. Mainly because there was a lot of trial and error involved, and I thought that while I was editing, I tried to involve that kind of system of me figuring things out. Yeah, it didn't really make sense. Nothing really made sense the way that I recorded things. So yeah, I just gave up on those. It's not like I'm especially good at redstone. I do have a bit of an interest in redstone. I like redstoney builds, but I'm not really that big of a redstone nerd, so I don't really know much about redstone. And if I were to even explain what I was doing, like, you know, I wouldn't be able to explain it. I don't really understand most of these because, yeah, these are mostly trial and error things. Except for the Nembon Gold Farm design, that was the only farm that I had that I actually followed someone else's design. So, yeah, I recorded hours upon hours of work because, yeah, this takes a long time to make these things. And, yeah, a lot of them get cut out. That's usual. But for this one, it's even shorter than usual. And I feel like I just did the same amount of work, put the same amount of hours just recording. But, you know, a lot of the hours had to be cut out because this wouldn't have made sense otherwise. Anyway, I still had a lot of fun. I was just trying to talk about like the things that I encountered while recording. And yeah, I've learned quite a bit from this experience. With that being said, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I tried something new for this video, which was all of this was voiceovers during editing. Nothing was said live while recording. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. Goodbye.